the same qualities that made Scott a wonderful father, husband, and son are what made him the amazing firefighter, friend, and brother.
Remembering a hero, fallen firefighter Scott Deem lost his life battling a fire at the Ingram Square Shopping Center. Eyewitness News reporter James Keith joins us live from Deem's funeral. And James, you were there for the entire funeral. What an emotional day for his family and his colleagues today.
A very long and emotional day indeed. People started showing up here early this morning. We had a fire procession, just a huge line of fire trucks from all across the state making their way here, showing their support. It was just mind-boggling to see the amount of people who showed up for this funeral, and the emotional aspects of it also just mind-blowing as well. You could hear a pin drop at one point, I swear, when we were out in the parking lot and the body of Scott Deem was being brought up and taken inside the church. Once inside, during the services, multiple people spoke to the crowd, talking about Scott, talking about the type of person he was. The one thing we heard over and over again about was how he was a hero and how he loved being a firefighter. This was truly a remarkable service, and one that definitely paid tribute to him as best as this community could. The services wrapped up around 3:30. The family left before everyone else, and they went to a private burial for Scott Deem, and it was nice that they were able to do that and not have to worry about anybody else showing up there. Back to you.
And James, I mean, there were hundreds of firefighters there too from all over, not just first local responders today.
There were hundreds of firefighters here. You could just see countless trucks in this parking lot, and then probably the most dramatic or the most emotional part of this was watching them all line up when that body was brought in, all of them saluting Scott Deem's body all at the same time. We saw firefighters not just from Texas, but some as far away from New York. People were really honored and glad to see their fellow brothers drive in from so far away. Definitely a strong showing of support amongst the brotherhood of firefighters.
All right, James Keith, thank you for that live report. And a friend and colleague, Robert Arenaga of Scott Deem, spoke on behalf of the Deem family and himself.
Scott is the heart and soul of our crew. Scott exemplified character, courage, all the things that this department strives to stand for. Scott was a great family man, first and foremost. We were able to witness firsthand his love and devotion that he carried for his wife Jennifer and their children. The same things, the same qualities that made Scott a wonderful father, husband, and son are what made him the amazing firefighter, friend, and brother. I'm proud of you, brother. I love you and I miss you.
Firefighters and first responders filled overpasses above Highway 281 in honor of Scott Deem. Parents and their children joined the firefighters to pay their respects. As Eyewitness News reporter Natasha Paloma found out, many say his death has changed the way they look at their own families.
American flags waving, people honking their horns down below, all showing their support for fallen firefighter Scott Deem on this overpass on Denella Drive and Highway 281.
He was a hero and he saved many lives in the job.
They're very brave to go help people in need when they're in danger.
Firefighter Lieutenant Dustin Titzman pays his respect on the overpass and reflects on his job and his children.
You go to work, and my wife has said it, I've said it, other guys have said it, you just assume you're going to come home, and then something like this happens, and it happens right at home, and makes you remember the important things.
Also in the crowd, two friends, Riley and Sophie.
He died saving people, but it was an honorable deed that he did.
Riley's uncle is a firefighter, and Sophie's dad is too, so this hits close to home.
He was sad that had happened, and he just wish that the family would get better.
Sophie and Riley say this helps them appreciate the work their relatives do and say Deem is now up in the sky, watching over his own family.
I know it's sad that he passed away, but he's in a better place.
He's going to be safe because God is watching over him.
Tasia Paloma, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.
Well, Chris Steele, the president of the San Antonio Police and Firefighter Association, spoke about the night Deem bravely sacrificed his life to protect our city.
It was our worst collective nightmare. When black smoke pours from a strip center and firefighters rush to the scene, fighting bravely despite unimaginable, difficult conditions. The events of that tragic day should remind us of the incredible bravery of Scott Deem. There's not a dry eye in San Antonio today. The sorrow and anger we feel is more than we can bear. No words can do justice to the sacrifice that was made or the sadness that we feel. Yet in the depths of our grief, we know there's more than sorrow here. There's valor, there's virtue, and there is honor. So today we pause to celebrate one of the best members and citizens of San Antonio, Scott Patrick Deem. Jennifer, I want you to know that we will never forget that night your husband, your high school sweetheart, your first love made the ultimate sacrifice. And I want you to know that we will be here for you even when the cameras are gone and the attention turns elsewhere. Your firefighter family will remain here to help you recover and rebuild.
So many wonderful memories and supportive words shared today. Hundreds of firefighters from across the country, even a few from Canada, made their way from downtown to Community Bible Church for Deem's funeral. And the heartfelt show of respect for one of their fallen brothers brought tears to the eyes of many. Eyewitness News reporter Priya Sridhar shows us some of those moments.
In the fire service, it's a brotherhood, a sisterhood, and when we lose one of our own, no matter where it is in the world, in the United States, we all try to come together.
He will always be our hero and earn his wings doing the job he loved best. The footprints he left will be there for those who wish to follow. May he rest in peace until we all meet again.
As he clearly reflected courage, energy, and a sense of commitment that personify this city. This was his city, the city of San Antonio.
This is the final alarm for Firefighter Scott Patrick Deem. It is with great sadness that the San Antonio Fire Department marks the passing of active duty firefighter Scott Patrick Deem.
This devastating wind-driven conflagration with brutal heat and some of the thickest blinding smoke that I have ever seen would grow to 4 alarms and result in a level of devastation and loss that will ultimately force many of us in here to define and create a new normal. As we seek to make sense of this indescribable void, This fire has changed our department permanently, as so many of our brave men and women fought valiantly in a situation that we prepare for every single day. We train continuously, and we truly hope that this will never happen to us. In the end, it was Scott who made the ultimate sacrifice of a firefighter, holding fast to his pledge to fight for the lives and the safety of others in the face of danger ahead of his own. Scott will forever be one of our brothers who we lift up as an example of bravery and commitment.